go into a little bit about building a front end and how it's evolved over the years, because it's come a long way since 2008, 2009 in those links. 5 years ago, if you wanted to build a web app, you start with your bread and butter of JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. And jQuery was just new, it had just come out, so you could use jQuery to affect the HTML on your page, and it was great. Everyone was super excited. And if you wanted to build a server, you were traditionally using things like Ruby on Rails and Django. You might have heard of these. But Node.js was just starting to be popular. Around 4 years ago, we started to see big companies like Google and Facebook have growing pains. Because you can imagine if your entire product, which is enormous and has millions of users, is hundreds of thousands of lines of code with hundreds of thousands of different class names. Using jQuery to individually select a class name can get really out of hand really quickly. So Google came out with a front-end framework called Angular, and not too long after, Facebook came out with a front-end framework called React. And these were revolutionary in how they shaped how you can make front-ends. Around 1 to 2 years ago, we started seeing huge improvements in the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript languages. So you can now do drag and drop in HTML, which you could never do before. You can now write classes in JavaScript, which you can never do before, and you can write animations in CSS, which is traditionally something you could only do with JavaScript or HTML. And there's a lot of stuff on the horizon. ES6 is the name of the new JavaScript language. ES7 is the name of the one that's on the horizon. So if you're just starting with web development and you're jumping into this gigantic environment, you're going to end up seeing all of these logos. And it can be very intimidating to have to pick some. You have to pick a front end, you have to pick a back end, you have to pick a database. There's like a huge number of offerings. So this is super confusing. If I was just starting web development, when I just started web development, I had no idea where to start. And that's where Meteor comes in, because since Meteor controls your front end, your back end, and your database, it's all seamlessly integrated, it all works really magically, really easily, and you don't have to worry about any of this stuff. So Meteor can help you take your app from inception, like idea inception, all the way to deployment. It helps you create a folder in which your app lives, all the way to helping you deploy it to a public URL that everyone can see it in. And the benefits really are, one, that it's just JavaScript, so you don't have to worry about any other languages aside from plain old JavaScript and HTML and CSS. It's real-time by default, so something that's actually really hard to do in an app is if something changes in your database, like your client's not going to know about that until it asks the database if there's been a change. But Meteor, by default, it has protocols where if something changes in your database, it automatically gets updated in your client and you don't have to do anything, it just works. It's super fast for developing, so we're going to develop a Meteor app together. It's going to take maybe 30 minutes and you're going to have a full chat app. And it's got a healthy modern ecosystem. So I said originally it came in around 4 years ago, but it's kept up with all of the updates in the language, all of the updates in the framework offerings. So you can use Meteor with Angular, with React, with anything you could possibly want. It's got a huge ecosystem and great documentation. So with that, let's jump into our demo. If you guys have your laptops open and you've downloaded Meteor, all you have to do to get started is type Meteor, create demo chat, or whatever you want to name your demo app. And I've created a demo app for us. Well, when I was preparing this presentation, I wanted to see just how far I could get with Meteor in an hour or two of development. So I made this example app called Simple Chat, where if you go to simplechat.meteorapp.com, it's just like a very simple implementation of a chat system with chat rooms. So we're going to be building a portion of this today. We're going to be building the chat part, not the chat room part. But I've put all of that code on GitHub. So it's all available at github.com/journeyman/simplechat. So if you guys open that up, you can follow along. I posted my slides there in a PDF, so you can copy and paste some of the code we're going to be working with. We'll make it run smoother. So let's type Meteor to React. Oh, yeah. creates a folder for you, it creates a basic file structure, it creates an HTML, a CSS, and a JavaScript file for you automatically so you know where to start and dive in. So if I open this in my text editor, I like to use Atom, you will see, big enough for everybody. Sorry, I'm not sure how to make the files bigger. But you will see that we have created a basic file structure. So Meteor for us has created a client folder and a server folder. And inside of our client folder we have main.js, main.html, main.css, which is the bread and butter of a client. Inside our server folder we have main.js, which is where we can write initial server processes. And then we've also got this hidden .meteor folder, which you won't see if you're just inspecting in the Finder. But all of the special secret sauce of how Meteor works is hidden in this hidden Meteor folder. So in the terminal, you can go and explore that if you want to. So all we need to get started is we need to go into our demo chat folder. We need to type Meteor npm install, and then we need to type Meteor. Let's go do that. Is this not big enough for everybody? Yes. It's a little small. Oh, color?
I think that's just the NPM package.
Yeah, NPM has bad color choices. Okay, so it tells me that my app is now running at localhost 3000. So if I go back to my Chrome window and make a new tab and I go to localhost 3000, you'll see we have a basic Meteor app. And we haven't written any code yet, we've just typed some things into the terminal. But yet we have an app where if you press this button, it's dynamic, things change. That's pretty cool. So as I said before, I want to make a chat app with you guys. And the reason I want to do that is because there's a whole wide range of tutorial Meteor apps on the internet. There's some really, really complex ones that show you some of the advanced features of Meteor. There's the classic to-do app. I wanted to make a chat app because it shows off one of Meteor's best features, which is like data pushing. And I also wanted to show you guys the Meteor account system. I know that Mandi just said that making accounts in Express is really hard. Luckily, it's very easy with Meteor. So the first thing we need to do if we want to make a chat app is we need to show a list of messages. So just take it. So if we go back into our code and we open up main.html, actually let me go back to my slides. We were just talking about handlebars templates. So if we want to show a list of messages, all we need to do is write one template. We can call it message board. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to want to take a list of messages, and then for each of those messages, make the new div, show the user of that message and the content of that message. So if we take this code straight from the slide, and we put it into our HTML file, that will be the perfect start. We can just take out the boilerplate code. Now this isn't going to show anything yet because we haven't added any messages. So the next thing we need to do is add some messages in JavaScript. So over here on this board, it's talking about how you actually put data into templates and stuff with handlebars. Luckily with Meteor, you don't have to worry about any of that. That's part of the magic. All you have to do is call your template by its name, and then define this helper variable that returns a list. So if we take this code and we put it directly into our JavaScript file, we can get rid of the rest of the boilerplate code. We can go back to Chrome, and you can see that we now have two messages. They're right there. They're displaying exactly what was in that list. And this page reloaded without me having to manually refresh it, because that's one of the huge features of Meteor. It does hot code pushing. And if we go into JavaScript and we add another message, like user, digital content, toolbar, and we save that file, it will automatically appear. So out of magic. So now you can imagine if we want to make a chat app and we have a list of messages, the only other real feature we need in our HTML is an input box and a submit button. So all we need to do is add that to our HTML file. So we'll copy this code. We'll go back to our HTML file and we'll paste it right above the messages. And this is just an HTML input box, an HTML button wrapped in a div. And you'll see that in Chrome we now have an input box and a button. But we want to be able to type here and click this button and have it actually add something to the list. And in order to be able to do that, we need to have some sort of state stored. So we need to have some sort of list that our app knows about, where we can add to it and remove from it. So with that, I'll introduce you guys to the template API. So template is a variable that we import from some of the Meteor magic secret sauce that does template compilation. But we already defined a helper. We defined the messages helper. So the next thing we need to do is define some event, where if we click a button, it adds something. I actually added the rest of the template API here just to give you an idea of what you can do with templates. You can have a callback function for when a template is created, when it's rendered, or when it's destroyed. And so we're going to, in our callback function for when the template is created, add this list variable. And then in our event-defined helper, we're going to append things to that list variable. So let's go do that. We're going to need to define our list variable in the onCreated method. So let's go to our JavaScript and add that up here. Now when we read our messages, we don't want to just read them from the static list, but we want to actually read them from that list variable. So we can delete this, and we can say, I put it in the next line, template, instance, messages.get. So if we go back to Chrome, you'll see we now have that list shown from the list variable. And next thing we need to do is define a template helper. So I put it here. But when we're defining a template helper with Meteor, all we need to do is say we want to listen for a click event, and we want to listen for a click event on the button. And this is a function that will take in the event and the instance as a callback. So in this button click, we want to get all the messages from our instance variable. We want to push a new message to that messages variable. And then we want to reset the template's instance variable with our new messages list. And then empty out the value of that input box. My syntax highlighting is a bit awry, but I think that's okay. Okay, so now if we type something here, and we click this button, sorry, I think I have a syntax error. What's wrong? It's what?
It's a batch instead of just a single quote. If I'm an integer,
1:30. Oh, thank you. You guys are the best. Classic Live Demo always has a coding bug. I'm sure you've seen this in many lectures. So now if we click this, it will automatically get added to our list. Fantastic. Super magical. However, this is just the state that's being controlled in our template itself. So if we reload this, it's going to reset and that new message will be gone, and that's because the only thing that has the message list is the state of our template itself. So the next really important thing to developing Meteor, sorry I'm flipping so much between my slides, will be to talk about, next thing we should talk about is collections. So in order for our state to persist across all our apps and for our users to be able to talk to each other, we need to define a MongoDB collection. I know you guys talked about this already, so I hope the syntax is somewhat familiar. But we're going to first insert a new message into our MongoDB so that we can read it in our app. So let's go over to our terminal again. And if I open a new tab in the same repo and I type Meteor Mongo, it will open up a MongoDB shell for me. Meteor has a lot of different tools that you can use. There's a huge API that's defined that you'll see if you type Meteor help. But the first thing I'm going to say is use Meteor, which is selecting which database I want to use, and then I'm going to insert a message. So I'm going to say db.messages.insert, and I'll say the user is me, and the content is hello world. So now if I say db.messages.find, and I don't select anything, so it finds all the messages, you'll see that my message has been added successfully. So I'll exit my shell. Now that we have our message added successfully, we need to actually read it into the app. So we'll define a new file called api.js that creates a new Mongo collection for us, and then we'll import it onto our server so our server knows about it, and we'll also import it into our client. So over here, if I make a new file called api.js, I can import Mongo from Meteor Mongo, and I can create a new collection. And export that messages collection. And on my server, which we haven't defined anything for yet, I'll just import this file so that it knows about the collection. And then on my client, which is the next thing, this is how we're actually going to read messages from our database. I'll go back to main.js, and in this message board helpers, where I defined the messages helper, I will now read from the messages database, find all the messages, and return them to the user. If we go back to our JavaScript file, in the messages helper, and import the messages. And then take this one. So now when I go back to my app in Chrome, you'll see that there's the message hello world that I had inserted into the database. And if we open a new terminal window, or actually, well, if we go back to our terminal window over here, we go back into Meteor Mongo, and we insert another message into our database. You'll see, I inserted it into the wrong database. My computer's IP address and chat on my message board, but if I want anyone in the public to be able to see a message, I'm going to need to have to host this app publicly. There's a few different options and a few different services. I don't think you guys have talked about this in your class yet, but if you want to host an app, these names should be familiar. So this is more just a reference for you for later, but there's the Meteor Galaxy service, the DigitalOcean service, Heroku Roku, Modulus, Amazon Web Services. There's a lot of them. And luckily, when you go to host an app with Meteor, and you actually Google, how do I host a Meteor app? The internet responds with responses that are actually useful and helpful. So any one of these tutorials will be able to take you from your local Meteor app to a hosted Meteor app very easily. So with that, I'm actually pretty much done with my lecture. I would love to stick around and answer questions and help you guys with your Meteor app development, or maybe if you had a problem with the tutorial or have any other questions, yeah, stick around. But if you're looking for an internship, we're still looking for, well, we'd love to, if you're looking for an internship, we'd love to collect your resumes. So you can just send me an email or go to our interns page. My email is here, my Twitter, my GitHub. Thank you guys for giving Meteor a shot. Basically, I wanted to just show you that it was really fast to use Meteor and get started with web development, because part of this competition is just making a super cool web app and not getting stuck in the mud of compiling apps to begin with. So, thank you all.